got tonight? We're on a Thursday night. We got Mavs and
Mavs.
we're about to crown an NBA champion in a minute, right?
Yes.
Celtics.
Yes.
The Beantown waiting on the winner of the Western Finals. Maybe decided tonight. Does Anthony Edwards and Cat extend this, or is it end tonight?
I hope so.
But you know what? It doesn't matter because game 1 is next Thursday, bro.
No, the 6th.
That's ridiculous.
The 6th.
That's almost too long.
That's too long, bro.
Too
The
long.
finals is stretched out.
Because if,
too long.
if they had closed them out the other night, it still would have been next Thursday.
No matter when it's over, it's
Y'all
the 6th.
sitting back like, you know what I mean?
Right?
Oh, basketball? Oh, yeah, I forgot. We play basketball.
Yeah, we do play basketball.
Oh, yeah, that's right. How do I
This is
dribble
the
again?
bocce ball tournament?
How do I dribble again?
No, we about to call Boston High and get a scrimmage with Boston
Absolutely.
Right? You're going to need it. You're going to get called like
Y'all big develop. Y'all still run?
Right.
Come over to the joint. We need some competition.
You're going to need it. Because when you're hot like that.
Bring Almighty RSO.
Right.
Get Benzino. And then
against BMBD.
tell them to leave the knife at home, though, this time.
BDD off the bench.
We need some competition.
Yeah, because when you're hot like that, you don't want to stick to cold again.
No.
You know?
We got dumps and stuff to heal up to.
The unicorns have plenty of rest. He should be ready to go. Like
He's ramping.
He's ramping up.
You can't never simulate
We're going to see. We're going to see.
All right, so quick prediction. You think Dallas or Minnesota coming out the West? You're gonna go to Dallas.
Dallas is winning the series. I think Minnie gonna win tonight.
Is there any greater redemption story than the one that Kyrie Irving is pulling off right now in these playoffs? I mean, we were ready to toss Kyrie Irving away with the Mohegan Tribe a couple years ago.
It was crazy.
Yeah. And now it's one of the greatest comebacks and greatest stories of these playoffs is how he has gained the favor of the basketball collective again. He's back in the good graces of the basketball community because he's concentrating on his job, basketball. Go figure, right, Stu? God forbid you worry about your job, which is basketball, and not worry about oil pipelines in Alaska and indigenous tribes in the rainforest.
And the family reunion in Wisconsin.
Yeah. You're actually one of the most talented people that can dribble a ball in the history of this league. Why don't you just use your God-given gifts and just do that? Not to mention, on a side note, his sneaker that looks like desert, like Indian moccasins, is some of the hottest joints going.
They're nice.
I'm gonna bring a picture of that on the edit when I drop this clip.
They're nice.
I love them. I want a pair. I told Stu I'm getting a pair. Those joints are fire. The air Apache, yeah, those joints are hot. Those joints are
Is that like what they're called, David, or you just...
Nah, I just...
Okay.
The Air Mohegans? Yeah. Mohegan ones? Yeah.
They're a little...
Yeah, little foot ones. Little foot ones.
Oh, because I can hear the public
That's
outrage
actually,
now.
Yeah, exactly. Cancel him. He's not sensitive to indigenous tribes and Native Americans with his jokes and quips. Yeah, fuck you. We're not trying to get canceled before we even start.
That's right.
Yeah. But should be a good game tonight, fellas. Yeah. Should be a good game tonight. We got that. We have in our hiatus. Ronnie declares for the NBA draft. Does a pretty good job at the NBA combine.
Yeah, he looked nice at the combine.
And he is doubling down. I am no longer a collegiate player. I'm going to the draft. And I'd have to say,
And he's
to me, that's the right
his workout to 2 teams only. Which is with 3 now? What's the third? Jeez.
This is three. He's only
It
working out
was
the
LA and Phoenix, David. It was
LA,
2.
Phoenix is one more.
David, it's 2. It's 2. Unless you're telling me unless he added a 3, it was 2.
I could've
It was
sworn it
LA
was
and Phoenix.
okay.
That's it. Okay.
And he ain't signing no 2-way deal.
Okay.
You ain't gonna shuttle me back and forth between Santa Fe
Right. The G League
and Golden
So
State.
he's got to make a roster.
I'm making a roster. I'm not making one.
All right. Okay.
I'm either going all in the G
Gotcha.
or I'm all in the league.
Gotcha.
You're not going to
Gotcha.
have me on a Greyhound, on a
Gotcha.
Peter Pan, back and
Gotcha.
forth
Gotcha.
between the Blue Hens and the Sixers.
Understood.
First of all,
Understood.
what I'm hearing is, of course, his dad, the king. So he's got that working for him. And he's got Clutch behind him. And
He got the Rich Paul machine.
They're not to be messed with in the league.
No, they're
So,
not.
you know what? He's about to be in the league, yo.
He wants to be in the league, he's
He's
going
about
to
to
be
be
in
in the league.
He has enough talent to
He's
be
got
in the league.
too much. He's got too much behind him,
Mm-hmm.
and he's would it serve him well to just finish out his college career and then try to get drafted, put up a real season?
Mark, for anybody else, I say you're right.
Yeah,
But in the
I
special,
think he
in the
should.
special circumstances that he's in, no, it doesn't serve him.
But
anything. Go pro.
why should we champion him taking
not
away a spot?
championing it.
But I'm saying,
I'm not
I'm not talking about
championing
us
it.
per se, but why is collectively the league champion him doing this,
not.
taking a spot
They're
away from
not.
somebody that's more deserving? That's not right to me. I don't like.
I mean,
I don't like.
But if he
Because if it was
comes
the
in-
boy that starts for Akron, he
All right.
averaged 14
All right.
points a game,
Say, okay.
8 rebounds, he 11 assists. He can't get a sniff.
Let's
But
take
he-
your
he
boy.
played
Let's
4
take your
years
boy
and
from
played
Akron.
decent and
Let's
won a
take
MAC
your boy
title.
from Akron.
I'm just
he
saying,
won a MAC
bro.
title. He's the second leading scorer in the MAC history.
Right,
blah
right,
blah blah.
right.
And he comes in the camp with Bronny, and Bronny outplays him. Then what?
But if he outplays me, outplays
That's what I'm saying. If
That's what I'm saying,
Bronny,
but
he's not going to get. He's not
But
going to get
Bull
given anything.
couldn't even really, David. But Bull couldn't even make his mark on the middling USC team. He played a little bit.
Wait a minute.
But he didn't
Wait a
win no
minute.
bells.
Wait a
And
minute.
then why
Wait a
have him
minute. I hear what you're
transfer?
saying. But did he or did he not come off a major life
And
experience?
that's fair. That's fair.
To
I'm
give
saying
what
it's
he
fair.
got
That's
was
fair.
Why don't you
That's
stay
fair
in
though,
college?
David. That's fair. I'm not
And-
going to punish him for that. That's fair.
You know what it is. It's just trying to get into play with your power.
That's all it is.
Power
And so
partner
that's what
stuff.
bothers me. Is the fact that the league is going to
But again,
beg
take it back to the
enough.
special circumstances that surround his thing. He's not the typical story. For anybody else, your scenario would be
Oh,
different. But when you put in all the factors that go into what makes him and his run a little bit different, then it's time.
Then it's time. Okay.
I thought like you
Listen,
at first. I
I'm
thought
seeing-
like you at first.
And then when he fails miserably, then what? I mean, so I'm not cheering for the
Well,
boy
he
to
better
fail
not.
miserably.
He better not.
If he once they draft him and they find out he really can't play and they run in practice and he's getting murdered, like you said, by undrafted boys who are being brought in from the G League to fill out a roster, and if that happens, that's a problem. That's where I have an issue.
Well, here's the
It's
thing,
too
dog.
hard to get to the league.
Here's the
and
thing,
he had
dog.
a shortcut.
Here's
And
the thing.
I'm
He took
by that.
he had two
And so it
roads.
is what it is. He took it.
It was
It's fine.
Candyland, and you go this
You
way
better
or
believe
that
it.
way.
You better believe
He
it.
chose the shorter path
Yes, he did.
through the pink and blue
Right,
squares,
right.
and he's got one shot.
Right.
There's no redo.
Yo,
if he fucks this
he
up,
ain't
he's
look-
done.
He looked
But
good at the combine.
he's
man.
already proved
He
that he
looked
can
good
play.
at the combine.
There's no question of whether or not he can play.
play.
But
He
how
can play a
long is
little
his
bit.
path going to be before he's a contributor?
He
That's
can,
the
he can
question.
play a little
He
bit.
can play a little
He
bit.
can play a little
He's
bit.
explosive.
Look,
He's athletic.
Everybody
He can shoot.
But the fact is, everybody that gets drafted can play. To what limit? To what,
He's
to what
already-
level?
to
You,
me-
you don't get that far. Even
Can I-
get it there. It's too hard to make.
He's
the league
already better than
if you
Markel
can't play.
Fultz was
But if
coming
you-
out of the
how
draft.
about- Okay, that's fair.
He's already better.
That's fair then, David. But the fact of the matter is that everybody that makes it to
He said, I don't know.
but look, if you make it to that level where you're getting drafted, you certainly know bum. You
You know
know,
bum.
you've been scouted, you've been vetted, your talent is elevated enough to even get in a camp, to get to, to a professional roster, to make a team. It's too hard, and there's plenty of vets that'll tell you.
Where my
you
sports
know,
head's at? I want comments. I want likes and follows at Build the Short Radio, YouTube, and I want to hear what you think of your opinions on Bronny. Ladies, hoopers, tell us what you think about that, because I feel Bronny he's got a long road to go, but I think he's deserving of at least a shot.
David, you let your love for LeBron paint your
that's some.
You
of it.
sound like a LeBron
That's some
fan.
of it.
They sound like a LeBron fan,
He is.
and that's fair. But don't, but, you know, I'm not cheering against the man, and I'm not cheering for the man. Go ahead and do your thing, bro. You like everybody else. I don't look at no different, and he shouldn't be looked in the spectrum of someone different. He's like everybody else, but because his last name changed, he's going to get treated differently. And he's going to get, like you said, that short path to Candyland. Now, you know, and LeBron wants to, you know, what irked me early on, when LeBron had made the statement, he was capable of playing the league now. And then when he didn't experience success, he then turns around and says, let him be a kid. You know, why y'all always
Can't have it both ways.
You can't have it both ways then, bro. When he didn't experience the
I feel
success,
you on that.
he would turn around and says, let him be a kid then.
Right.
Nah,
Can I
you
ask
put
both
that
a
on,
question?
homie.
Can I ask you both a question? Nepotism is real.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong.
There isn't.
Nepotism is the way of
There isn't.
is the way of the world. Would you guys bring your son into your profession if he wasn't quote unquote 100% qualified and allow him to try to grow and give him a shot?
Yes and yes.
Yes and yes.
But it's now,
Yes,
it's
yes,
now,
yes.
and ultimately,
Because Marquis
here's the
would be
deal.
getting shot
My
right
assessment,
now.
look, my assessment is one thing, but the people that make the decisions,
Marquis
if their
would get 5
assessment,
carries a
if
game
their
if he was
assessment,
getting hit.
if their assessment says he's ready, then fine. But if me and him one-on-one, and I say he's not ready, I'm not going to dissuade him, but I'm going to say we're going to go to this
If
camp.
Aeneas
And-
is coming out of Columbus, Tech,
Absolutely.
he'd be
No.
lying up right next to
Hey,
you in
look,
the secondary.
No,
sure.
this
Hey,
is
listen,
what I'm
Dave,
saying. This is what I'm saying.
If the scouts say he's ready,
Yeah.
then fine. Then give him a shot then, and I'm with it.
Yeah,
and if I can help that,
what
fine.
I'm saying is, I think we all know that he's not 100% ready.
No.
What I'm
all
saying
agree
is,
upon
if
that.
you're on the Kings of Comedy, and Aeneas is an up and coming comic who slayed a show here, slayed a show there, but don't have the consistent joint, and you like, yo, I'm gonna get you on, and then it's basically up to you. Once you want to build outside, then you got to get on that stage and you got to rip.
But here's the thing.
And he knows
Because outside of
he
you,
knows
because outside of you,
No.
he's not getting on.
Because see,
But he knows
Outside of you,
Okay.
he's not getting
who else
on.
better to get him ready for all that than the greatest player, arguably, of all
But
time?
then and
he's
I
got
can
him
see-
ready.
So then, if LeBron, the ultimate, the opposite can be true. If LeBron gets him on and he falls flat on his face, then how does LeBron look?
Right.
You know, you got
No.
him. Because so you're using that same example. If I were to tell Aeneas,
Him?
you on this tour, and I put him on a tour,
Yeah.
and people are booing him like, yo, that's Adge's son, like, and he's ass, yo.
Derek,
Then I'm like,
LeBron, his mother, and
No.
himself have all sat there and they've ran that scenario,
But
and trust me, they're ready.
I'm gonna tell you what it. I'm gonna tell you what it is, though.
Either way.
I'm gonna tell you what
The
it is.
victor goes to school, and
LeBron,
then
20 years
the
from
loser
now.
goes to Jeers. They're going to get it either way.
Yeah,
then,
he's gonna
bro.
get it either way.
20 years from now, when
I'm not trying to
Bronny's out the league, and Bronny is out the league, and you go to the Hall of Fame joint and look at LeBron, they're gonna be like, he's one that played with his son, and that's gonna be it.
The first.
Played with his
The
son.
first. And
He gave him an assist. He
If that's what
freaking
LeBron
he
wants,
took an
yeah.
alley
And that's
oop,
what he
and
wants.
took
He
that,
wants it
and
bad.
that's
He
and that's
deserves
what he
that.
wants.
He
That's
wants
what
that
he
as
wants.
bad as
That's
he
what he
wants that
wants.
franchise in
That's fine
Vegas.
then.
And I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
he's going to get both.
Absolutely.
He's going to play with his
Absolutely.
son, and,
Come on,
and
man.
then
You
he's going
can't
to
stop
retire,
it.
and he's
And
going to
you
get a
can't stop it.
franchise
And
in
guess what?
Vegas. He's
And
gonna have to.
Bronny going to get a contract
Yeah.
from Clutch, and he guess what? If he inversely, if he does do good enough to stay on the roster, stay on the practice squad, you eating for a
Yeah.
long time.
They're ready.
You can go overseas and eat. You can do a lot.
He ain't going overseas. He's gonna be in the league.
But you can get on a coaching staff.
Oh, yeah,
and eat.
yeah.
There's a lot of ways you
Ask
can eat in that
Dunleavy.
league, yo.
Ask Derek Fitt, all the
Yeah.
guys that have taken that shot and taken it to the level. Ask Luke Walton, you know, all the rest. Ask Wes Unseld Jr. You know what I mean? That's exactly what you said.
Yeah,
Stu.
man. I feel you 100%, Ed. Like but when I think I can only compare it to me, and if that was me and my son, I'm trying to get him in.
Exactly. And
Trying to get him in.
that's a nice boat.
And
if it's your kid, you gonna
if
give
I'm at
every
that
opportunity.
level where it's gonna raise my my lore and my legacy that one extra notch,
Even
then
more.
it's even more.
Even more.
Even more.
Even more. Okay. All right. Hey, you know, I'm gonna say one quick thing, and then we're gonna jump to the next.
Wait, real quick though.
Good.
The one difference about that though, and what makes it more obvious in my example is that comedy you can only rely on yourself.
Yeah.
If Bronny makes a team, he can be part of a team and contribute. He might not be the star or the main scorer, but he can contribute on a team.
Well, if
Aeneas gets up there and does 15 minutes for a 20,000 seat arena, and he's out there by himself, I can't help him, and no one else can. Yeah. If he stinks it up, he stinks it up. Whereas if Bronny's on a team and he's part of a rotation, or if he's a starter and he's not the star, but he's getting 9 points a game, whatever, okay, he's part of it, and he got his shot. But if Aeneas is by himself on that stage as a comedian and he stinks it up for 15 minutes, that's it, bro.
That's it.
I mean, Bronny could be shooting no air balls.
Like Eminem.
He can't get
you only got one shot.
The ball goes off
There's
his hand. Comedy is a one man. So if I don't think Aeneas is ready, I wouldn't want to subject him to that life. That life is brutal.
He got 1 8 mile.
Yes. And I don't want him to then be.
But listen,
then feel he's not good enough.
With all that being said, if you have an opportunity, you get on the stage.
I would help him every
You
way
get to
I
a
can.
level like Gary O and whatever.
I would help him every way I can.
Again,
I would want to get him shows, but
it's an
the
opportunity.
But if Gary O and say if Gary, got me an opportunity,
and you would build,
and
you would build that opportunity the right way.
Right.
You're not just going to throw him out there. You're
going
to handcraft that moment.
Sure.
And that's the difference right there. This ain't just throwing to the wolves.
Because he's
not going to let him do it if he doesn't feel he's ready.
First of all, he ain't starting nowhere. He's going to be, if he makes a run, he may be a G League official for 2 years.
He makes a team. He's deserving of making a team. But where I'm saying that one example, just using comedy, Aeneas can only fail. He has no one else to help him out. You fail to do 15 minutes, you stink it up. No, it's all on me because I told Gary's coming to me, the crowd's coming to me, the media's coming to me. That's your son, and you put him on it. He was trash.
It's a great
analogy. And all these other comedians who you could have put up there, and you overlooked them for your son. Yeah. You wrong, and your son will never do comedy again. He's done. It's too much to lose then. So I would take it in that perspective, and I would do it a little bit different. But to your point, David, nothing I wouldn't do to help him.
Exactly.
Nothing I wouldn't do to help him.
And that's all he's doing. That's all he's doing.
And so
at the end of the day, that's all he's doing.
And LeBron James, and I'm Derek Andrews. So LeBron's name is a key to the kingdom. So he can pretty much get you anything, get his son anything.
But only if he thinks you're deserving of that opportunity. And I'll tell you this. The funny thing about it is, the youngest is the one that's going to be the monster, if you ask me. Bryce is going to be, he's the one that's got daddy's full body. Bryce might be bigger than LeBron by the time you say it all. Bryce is going to be the one that's a real problem. Because Bryce is like in the 10th grade, he's like 6'4" now. You know what I mean? He's like Bronny size now in the 10th grade. He's the one you have to look out for.
But Big Bron ain't gonna be in the league, probably.
No, of course that's
so. This is why it's more.
But I'm just saying.
I feel you. Yeah, you skip a generation or whatever.
All right, we're talking about NBA nepotism, right? A comment came out a couple weeks ago. We've been down for a little bit, so we haven't been, a little late to this, but I still want to talk about it. Austin Rivers spoke on a podcast and said, I don't know how they got to this conversation or whatever, but Austin Rivers said that if you look at it, there's 30 dudes in the NBA that could play in the NFL right now. First of all, is that true? Yes or no?
Yes.
Second of all, conversely, are there 30 dudes in the NFL that could play in the NBA? What say you, Mark?
Yeah. I think it goes.
You say 30?
In the NFL, that could play.
Which way first?
Both. Both.
Really?
Bro, your numbers are a little high. You way undervalue the NFL and players' athleticism.
Yes.
Some of these boys, listen, bro.
Yes.
Listen, bro.
You think so too?
Listen, bro. I'm in the camp.
I strongly disagree with both of y'all.
Some of these corners, with their body, exactly,
both.
David. You making it seem like it's preposterous, and it's not.
Not 30.
It's not.
First of all, not 30. There might be 30 is fair. There might be 3 or 4 dudes in the NFL that could possibly get on a bench on the NBA.
No.
Can I give you one? I'm gonna start.
You don't think Justin Jefferson couldn't give you valid minutes?
Can I tell you something real quick?
You think Terrell Owens?
Right. Of course, T.O.
Can I tell you something real quick?
Come on, bro.
Can I tell you something real quick?
You don't think George Kittle can give you
I'm gonna give you one
bro.
example. I'm gonna give you one example, and I'm gonna rest my case, and I'm gonna let y'all, put that out to fodder and discuss it. But first of all, Julius Peppers is going to the Hall of Fame. He's a Yellow Jacket,
Right.
first ballot. That nigga could barely get minutes on North Carolina's national championship.
So what, David? He's still
He's marginal.
Okay.
He's marginal at
What are you
best.
saying,
And
David?
he's probably your best example. Tony Gonzalez was a seventh man at Cal when they made a run to the Elite Eight. Matter of fact, I think they beat Temple the
That
year
don't mean he couldn't have
went to
played.
pro.
That don't mean he couldn't have played in the league.
So are we talking about
That
just
don't mean
making
he
a
couldn't have
roster, or are
played
we
in the
talking
league.
about making substantial minutes?
Play in the league.
I say there's maybe 4 or 5 guys. The other way,
No.
I think there's more guys
First of all,
from the NFL, from the
First of
NBA
all,
that can play in the
the
NFL,
NFL
than there are from the NFL.
NFL is
to the
large.
NBA.
If
How
you
many dudes in the
just
NFL
go
NBA?
53, if you just go 53 by what is it, 32? 53 by 32.
You couldn't.
You can't get 30.
You can't tell.
get
That's
30.
not 30. It's too many.
No,
That number's
no.
too high to me.
30's
That
fine.
number's too high to
I'm
me.
giving you 3 athletes off of every NFL team that can run the ball. That can get
And
into
that's
the
still not
NBA.
30.
It's still
That's still
3.
like 30.
It's
That
3.
might be 20
And you got
at the
3
most.
off of 32 teams. That would be
that
6.
number's
That's
too high to me, Derek.
But you're just saying, if you just took 2 dudes
Yo,
off of every
all
NFL
them
team,
cats, all
them boys absolutely.
all them
You
tight end
fully-
niggas that be like,
Thank you.
he'll box
And as
out,
soft as the
he'll
game
box
is right
out in
now,
the end zone.
David, stop it.
First of
you're way undervalued
First of
NFL
all.
players' athleticism.
Let
Come
me
on,
say
bro.
this. First of all, let's go NBA to NFL.
First of
all,
all, what the-
there's
go
not
ahead.
30 dudes in the NBA right now that can stand the physicality of the NFL. There's not.
David,
There's maybe like 8 to 10.
David, here's what
That physicality is too much. There's a reason why they went to basketball. Because the first time they got hit on a Saturday morning, they were like, ooh, shit. The first time they played a scrimmage on varsity,
Is that why
Justin
AI? Is that why
Jefferson-
AI plays
Justin
ball,
Jefferson-
play basketball? Instead
Yes,
of
that's
football?
one of
It's
them.
not.
first of all, I'll give you Justin Jefferson. What's the boy? T. Higgins. T. Higgins was leaping over everybody. T. Higgins has like a 43.5-inch vertical leap, dunking on everybody in high school.
Dude.
T. Higgins got to the joint, and I'll tell you, I'll give you another example. Fuck T. Higgins. I'll go Plaxico Burress. Plaxico Burress was a state champ in basketball, was first team in football. Plaxico Burress wanted to play basketball as his first sport. And his high school football coach told him, he said, you're real good in football. He was like, how many, he was like, let me ask, you want to play basketball? He was like, yeah, coach, that's my love. I want to play basketball. I want to go on a basketball scholarship before football. He was like, how many 6'6" guys are there in basketball? He was like, pretty much everybody's 6'4" and 6'6". He was like, how many 6'6" wide receivers are there in the NFL? He was like, I'm gonna take that scholarship to Michigan State.
That's smart.
I'm gonna take
that's
that scholarship.
Smart. You recognize.
But that's a microcosm of the whole thing. Like I said, I'll go back to T. Higgins again. T. Higgins was dunking on everybody.
But David, that's no indictment of their ability. Maybe you either focus on one or the other. Not everybody can play multi-sports.
Yeah.
No,
So
not everybody.
he was just
Not everybody
that
Deion.
dude
There's
can
only a
play.
couple
The
Deions
dude
that like
exactly.
that. Right.
So, but there are a number of guys. I don't know every NFL player, but I know athleticism when I see it, and I see some of these boys' body types and their acumen for the
about-
sport.
And their length and their power.
Exactly, and you got boys.
physicality.
Man,
You're talking about rebounding.
and they
and
revel in
banging
that.
big
And
bodies.
they revel in that.
Come on, you banging
Okay.
big bodies
You gotta
out
handle
bad.
it.
Okay.
Who knows? If you can handle the ball.
Well,
if
guys,
you come
I'll
on.
say this.
If you can shoot,
I'll say this one thing. I don't know about 30 seems a little high to me, but I will say this, and y'all can disagree or agree. There's more guys that can make the jump from the NBA to the NFL than there are NFL to the NBA. Because basketball players, to me, and you tell me if I'm wrong, they're the greatest athletes on the planet.
Yes, I agree with
So
that.
I'll just say that.
I agree with that because football is more your position set. You
Right.
get locked into
Skill set, yeah.
your movements and things of that nature. First of all, a wide receiver is a daunting task. You running 40-yard sprints every damn play.
Every play.
Like,
and it's still more physical than any basketball player will be at the wideout.
And ultimately, and I'm not going to knock hockey players.
Oh my God.
How hard is the
Wow, you threw hockey into
crazy.
How hard is it?
First of all,
professionally,
how many niggas can skate that well?
Exactly.
There's only a handful of niggas that can skate
I'm
that
talking
well.
about no, and here's the thing. I remember up the Ville playing ball in Brooks, and the baseball team came in all them white and gave us work. Them
basketball
in hoops.
Athletes
When we athletes and athletes. Thank you for making my point. So they came in and gave cats that was in there running like all day, all the time. They came in the summer and was like, yo, we got next. And was giving out work, getting jumpers, getting boards, baskets, breaking.
They can do that. But what separates them
and baseball out of the four majors are the worst athletic.
Yeah, they are.
Like,
they got beer guts and everything else.
They out all.
But their hand-eye
They can't even
skills
turn.
are
They
second
can't.
to none.
Oh yeah. That's the art. That's the art.
the hardest thing in sports.
And infield fielding is an art.
So needless
Don't
to
ever
say,
get it twisted.
to wrap this up basically, is that, every sport has a special discipline that only a small percentage
That's very
of the
fair.
athletes are athletes.
The only thing I totally disagree with,
But 30 is too high.
saying that cats is shy away from the physicality.
How about this?
Because
I've heard that story many times
because-
from basketball players. Like Charles Barkley took that story because Charles Barkley, you know how
And
big
I'm
Charles
sure
is.
there are people that do that.
He fashioned himself to be a tight end or a DN until he got hit one time. He was like, "Oh fuck this." Hey, coach. Give me them tight shorts. I'm gonna play basketball.
And that's
He got hit a couple times. He was like,
and that's mentality.
Listen,
If you a football player, if you play football,
Right.
you know it comes with the territory,
Right.
and that's what it is.
I just don't want it. I don't like to put it in just outsiders. I didn't like Austin Rivers chumping NFL. It was basically like you saying, "Yo, you can't do what we can do," and I don't want to minimize no one's sport that way, because anyone that plays any professional sport deserves to be there. They work hard, and the average man can do it. Otherwise, we'd all be.
Nah, we're just talking.
I know, Dave. So it is, and I respect it all. His opinion's his opinion, but you see, it got a lot of people up in arms. You got people going back and forth.
But you see how passionate that
football,
discussion
fuck basketball players. You see, the people got hyped over it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's not about an argument. It's not about a real argument.
I remember T.O. playing ball.
Exactly.
T.O. one of the few.
T.O. can ball.
He's one of the few.
T.O.
He could actually do
If
it.
T.O. devoted his talents to playing ball and wanted to go in the league, I think he could have got.
All right, name them. There's a few.
It's
Jackson,
but
T.O., Master P. I drew the foul. What
Romeo.
I'm on the line.
No, Romeo was hooping too.
Yeah, Romeo. He joke if you want.
Was all right. He
He was
all
on 3 different rosters.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
ran for
he-
the Sacramento Kings,
Charlotte, right?
Charlotte, and there's one and New Orleans Pelicans. So he got good looks. And the one thing that stopped him, like I saw Melo on his podcast talk about, he could actually ball. Because where was Melo at? Melo was at one of those teams, and he watched some play. He was like, Pete can ball. But that nigga came in, when he came into practice, everybody else coming in serious.
But you know what?
He came in full, no limit.
But you know
that nigga had like army fatigues on. He had like, bust out and all the rappers with him. They're like, oh, this ain't.
This is what I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
I think by the time you are if you're a professional athlete in your sport, I think yes, Deion, Bo, all of the two professional sport athletes. But cats that's coming out of high school and cats that's balling in college that's playing 2 sports, you start having to narrow down what you gotta narrow it down. You gotta narrow it down.
And
because
if somebody
if somebody says, dude, You're like AI, prime example.
Right.
AI was a bad boy on the gridiron.
Right. I was a
He was a bad boy,
He was a
but his
monster.
size and everything would have been a
He was
detraction.
Lamar
It would have
Jackson
been
1.0.
yes, it would have been a detraction for some people.
It's exactly what you said.
And I don't think AI has the makeup to bow down from no contact.
He wasn't.
Yeah,
He
he
was
would have
about
never
the
bowed
physicality.
down for no contact.
Depending on how good you are in both those sports, you have to
You gotta start
You gotta make
figuring
a
it out.
decision.
Yeah. Somebody
Some guys
say-
can make it later than others based on how.
Somebody
good
say
you
you
are.
might be a free agent.
Sometimes
and
decisions
you
made
might be a
for you.
second
That's
round
fair.
in this
That's
sport,
fair.
and you might be a
Especially
free
if you're
agent in
trying to
that
be
sport.
Especially if you're trying to be a
Yeah.
professional. Not